What a day today, guys. Market was blood red. Most stocks are down. Tech stocks, double digits, absolutely tanking. The only thing that's, well, not the only thing, but one of the only things that's staying afloat is GameStop. GameStop holding the line. It was 120. It was actually up to like 140 today. It was in the 130s, and then it popped up again to 140. I think it ended around like 130-ish today. People are actually talking about buying GameStop as a hedge against the losses in the rest of the market. Seriously, even people that aren't into meme stocks or anything, they're like, GameStop is the only thing that is not going down. Maybe I'm going to buy GameStop as a hedge against the rest of the market. Seriously, absolutely crazy. My portfolio, if it wasn't for, well, Sabre is actually doing pretty decently. It wasn't like up or anything. I mean, it was kind of up and down. It was like teetering around. Like, it really didn't take too much of a hit today, Sabre. But GameStop keeping my portfolio looking not that bad compared to some of my friends. Some of my friends are like, this is such a painful week, such a painful 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I'm in some stocks that are taking a hit too. I have Tesla, I have Square. Those are taking a hit. GameStop, Sabre, those are kind of saving the portfolio. Never thought a GameStop meme stock would be saving the portfolio. But it really doesn't matter. Here's the thing. It really doesn't matter until you sell, right? You don't, like, if you're going to sell now at a loss, then you lost money. But if you just hold it, then there's no loss. Down days are down days. You just, suck it up. You get through them. You just go do something else. Try to not look too much at the stock market. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. So it's been a rough day, but don't worry too much about it. Rough days happen. You just got to not let it get to you, because when you get emotional, you start trading not very well, right? you make some bad decisions. So this is hilarious. By the way, this is somewhat offensive, so you guys are offended, then, I mean, it is somewhat offensive. But there are, I know you guys probably, if you've been keeping track of what's going on Wall Street Bets on Reddit, on a few different Reddit forums, not just Wall Street Bets, actually, there's a lot of bots. There's a lot of paid shill bots. You don't really pay bots. But anyway, there's a lot of shill bots on Wall Street Bets trying to pick up on ticker symbols and promote them and hype them up. It's basically like a pump and dump, right? So they picked up on a stock, SSR, that is not a stock. And they were pumping these bots, just bots, not even people, just bots. They were pumping this SSR stock because they saw it being mentioned several times. And when they see 3 letters in all caps mentioned, they pick that up as a stock, right? These bots. So they picked up SSR as a stock, and they started to add fuel to the fire, trying to say, oh yeah, SSR is the next GME, SSR is the next GameStop, the next big stock, right? SSR is not a stock. I mean, it's maybe a stock, I don't know. But SSR, what people are saying SSR, it's short seller restriction or short sale restriction list, right? So that's why people keep saying, keep spamming SSR and talking about SSR in the threads, and it's not a stock. They're referring to short sale restriction, and the bots are just pumping SSR. GME has asked this week, may as well dedicate SSR to Friday. It's not a stock. To Friday, and then buy back in the next week is my plan. Just a big gamble, but could be magnificent. That makes no sense because might as well dedicate short sell restriction list to Friday. SSR mooning tomorrow. Short sale restriction is mooning tomorrow. Sure it is, bot. Sure it is, robot. GME mega threat. Oh, I'm not telling people to sell GME. I'm just telling them to buy SSR for tendies. And look, this is hilarious, right? So they're just these bots going back, and GME train halted, needs more attendees, buy SSR, then go back to GME. If GameStop, if they weren't afraid of people buying GameStop, why would they be trying to get people out of it so aggressively, right? I mean, I know many of you, if you're in GameStop, if you're excited about GameStop, you're already paying attention to all the forums and everything. We already know all the same information. We've already been reading all this stuff, right? So it's just very interesting. I mean, it's very interesting. It's just very funny that they're going so hard into this that just like no one double checked these bots to see if like this was an actual stock or not, right? As I will not disappoint, Juice SSR cocked and transfer tendies to Jimmy. No one. This just nonsense. If there was any other indication that you needed to have like that this is like absolutely manipulated and this is so much fake misinformation spreading. Like that's why these forums are at this point, like they were great before. There was some BS on them before, don't get me wrong, but now it's just like you have to be very careful what you get into that is promoted on these forums, because there's just people that are not, they don't have your best interests at heart when they're promoting some of these things, especially bots, right? They don't have SSR rim jobbing you right now. What? I mean, come on. Okay, so anyway, that's the first funny thing. The second funny thing is that this is not in Wall Street Bets. This is in the, I think this is, this is in the GME mega thread, right? Reddit.com/GME. They decided that they were going to start spamming the ticker symbol CUM, come, because they thought that would be very funny, so that the bots pick up on come and start promoting it as just, you know, like this, just scripts running, promoting come, like very excited about come tomorrow. So yeah, hello fellow APOs, don't forget to load up on loads of cum. Wall Street Bets next SSR. I personally can't wait to load up on buckets of cheap. They're just manipulating the bots into spreading cum because they think it's funny. And it is funny. It is very funny. Now, what will you do for cum and with your cum? I mean, I'm going to leave the link to the thread for you guys to read. I'll leave it in the description, the comments, whatever. Because I think, honestly, it's too funny to not read. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. I wanted to give you guys a recap of what's going on. Again, don't worry about the red in your portfolios. It happens. Some crazy stuff going on right now. Personally, I mean, there's a few reasons for it. I'm not going to say it's all just hedge funds that are selling good securities to cover their GME positions, because that's not the only. I honestly believe that that's part of it. But there's a few things that are kind of like creating a snowball effect together. Not just that, but I do believe that is one of them. But anyway, that's it for this one. Just don't worry too much about, like, if you bought stock and you feel like you bought into a good company, and you did your research beforehand, and you felt secure when you bought the stock. I mean, if you just bought a stock because someone said to buy it and you don't know what it does, then that would be a good indication that maybe you might want to reevaluate your position. It may tank more if you don't know what you even bought into. But if you did your research, and you know what the value of the company is, and you were confident when you bought it, then you should still be confident. And it's okay that there's red in the portfolio. It happens. These things happen. I've seen this before. It happens. If you just hold, if you're confident and the company fundamentals haven't changed, then hold and just tough it out. Cowboy up, right? So anyway, that's it for this one. Just wanted to give you guys the funsies, because I think this is hilarious. Here's another thing. People want the next GameStop. They're like, oh, what's the next GameStop? What's the next GameStop? I want to get into the next GameStop before it happens. I want to see what else is on the short sale restriction list now, or what else is being heavily shorted, right? And now hedge funds are just like heavily shorting things because they want to pump and dump, and they want to get retail investors excited for other stuff that they're already in. They're like, oh, it's the shorted, and they're like, they really have positions in the stock. And then they pump it up, and then retail investors buy in, and then they sell, and then it tanks, and then retail investors, they take a hit, and they're like, oh, man, well, you should have got in earlier. It's like, hedge funds making all the money pumping and dumping stock is really a terrible thing that's going on right now. Just it's a bunch of nonsense and misinformation, and everything is trading so detached from fundamentals, which is kind of started last year. With a lot of these tech stocks, like, fundamentals are here, and then tech stocks are like, oh, dreams and buzzwords, and it's pretty crazy. But I say that with a smile on my face, but it kind of is dangerous. It kind of is dangerous because a lot of these stocks are trading higher than they really fundamentally should be. But yeah, just be careful with what's going on in these things. And if your portfolio is red, don't worry too much about it. As long as you did your due diligence and you did your research before. And you know you got something good that has actual value. So I'm not too worried about my portfolio. I think some things that may have been, because a lot of the stuff that I'm in is kind of more long holds. So if it goes down in the short term, then it's just I was gonna hold it long anyway. So some things I may have wanted to get out of sooner rather than later, and now the timetable is just pushed back, so I have to hold on to it longer. But again, it's not the end of the world, right? So anyway, that's it for this one. Hope next week is got me in the next couple weeks is going to be pretty crazy. So buckle up, guys. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are doing good. And I will see you as always in the next one.